All right, welcome to the sports compound. I am the Sarge, and with me again is Jaymac. Jaymac, how you doing, man?
Oh, not bad.
All right, looks like you got yourself a co-host right there, right next to you.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you watched any of the MLB games yesterday, but I kind of want to talk about the Yankees and the Cubs with that one. So the Yankees won, I believe, like 18-4 yesterday,
That
but
sounds about right.
yeah, so it was a it was a clobbering, but there was a hitter. I cannot pronounce his last name. It's like Shokia or something like that.
Uh,
Higashoka. Higashoka. I don't know if I'm saying that
are you
correctly, but
talking? Are you talking for the Yankees or?
yeah, I'm talking for the Yankees. He's number
Yeah.
66. So he hit 2 home runs yesterday. Do you know on his second home run? Do you know how fast the pitch was?
I heard it was the slowest pitch ever hit for a home run. So, uh, probably I want to. Without looking, I would say it was 48, 50 miles an hour, maybe.
You are wrong, sir, because it was 35 miles per hour.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a slow softball pitch to
Pretty
do that.
much. Pretty
I
much.
mean, I could do that. Like, put me in the big leagues. If you're gonna, this is the most I've seen. Like, they're putting position players like in a season on the mound this year. This is the most I've seen. What about you?
Yeah, I think they're trying to save the bullpens. When you're way behind in a game, and it kind of makes sense, but it's definitely interesting. It's an interesting tactic, but you can't use them unless you're more than 5 runs behind or 5 runs ahead. That's the rule now.
Well, the good news is that they were behind.
Yeah.
Well, more than 5 or 4 runs. Because again, the final score was 18-4 with that one. And speaking of the Yankees, Joe Judge has hit in 24 home runs in 60 games, and I saw something he's on pace for 63 home runs this year. What's your feelings with that one?
Um, I don't think he'll get to 63. I mean, you always see these guys always start a great season. As far as that goes, you always see them start off hot and be on a pace for. It's kind of to me, it's kind of like Olsen in Atlanta.
Okay.
They're talking about Olsen has hit 25 doubles, so he's on pace for 68 doubles or something. I don't think he's going to hit 68, but yeah, guys started out on a tear. They cool off a little bit. So I think he'll end somewhere around 54, 55 probably as far as home runs.
I mean, should he go do the home run derby this year for the All-Star game? Because he's pretty much going to go to the All-Star game. Should he participate in the home run derby, knowing that he is on pace to hit over 60 home runs?
I don't know. I think the home run derby is more of a thing for the guys that are unknown, the unknown players, kind of like the 3-point contest in the NBA. I think that the home run derby should give the younger guys, the unknown guys, give them an opportunity to be in the home run derby and get their name out there. Yeah.
All right. I would honestly be okay. I would like to see him hit 60 home runs because I don't know the last time I know a player that has hit over 60 home runs. So I'm actually kind of rooting for a Yankees player actually to do it because it does not happen as much anymore. So that's where I am at on that one. And the White Sox. Oh, the White Sox are hurting. Does Tony need to be fired?
I think he's lost the team. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that one as well. So with that being said, give me a little snippet of your Atlanta Braves there.
Well, what can I give you? 11 wins in a row. We're on an 11-game winning streak. Just swept our third consecutive series yesterday against the Pirates. It was the closest game of the series. It was 5-2, I believe, yesterday. But it's funny how one game, one at bat, one player can turn your entire season around. Coming into the last game against the Arizona Diamondbacks, we needed to win that game to basically even stay in the race in the NL East, and we won that game. And since then, all we've done is won 10 games in a row since then. But you look at a guy like an Adam Duvall who's never hit for a high average. Never hit for high average. I don't think he's ever hit higher than 230 in his entire career. But last year, he led the NL in RBIs with 118. So coming out of that last game against the Diamondbacks, he was hitting 188 with 2 homers and I believe 13 RBIs. That was his stats coming out of that game. So then you fast forward after yesterday's game, he now has, so this is 11 game winning streak. His numbers for the year, he's now hitting 206, which still isn't great, but he's hitting 206. He's got now 6 home runs and 24 RBIs. So in the 11-game winning streak, he's hit 4 homers and 11 RBIs, and he's hitting like 250 in the 11-game. So just my point being, like, one guy starts hitting and it can turn your whole season around. It's just kind of crazy how that happens.
That is kind of crazy happened, and Ashley Gleason kind of threw me under the bus here about hitting pitches and stuff. I'm going to bring it up really quick. I hit myself in the head. So in high school, I was throwing the ball up in the air, and it was kind of funny because I was just swinging like at my grandparents' house, and like for some reason I swung the bat all the way around and smacked myself in the head, and gave myself a concussion doing that way. So yeah, thank you, Ashley, for bringing that up.
Yeah, thanks for that. That's
I
an interesting tidbit. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I just want to go a little. So thank you for bringing up on the Braves right there. So the Seattle Mariners, they played Boston for the second time so far this season. The first time they played in Boston, and the Mariners got swept in the 4-game series. But this time Boston was in Seattle, and even though the Boston won the series 2 out of 3, but I was more happy that the Mariners did not give up a lot of runs during that series. Julio Rodriguez is a center fielder for the Seattle Mariners. He came from the Double-A past Triple-A, and to me, I think he could easily win Rookie of the Year. I don't know if you heard about him. Have you?
I've heard the name, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so you've heard of A-Rod and I-Rod and all those. They call him J-Rod. That's what they call him. And I think it's awesome. And he has brought a lot of spark to the Mariners. Because so far he's hitting over eight home runs, has 28 RBIs. He does have about a 260 average on the batting right there. So I think that he's brought a spark to the Mariners and will win the Rookie of the Year. And speaking of the Mariners and the Braves, we got a very special show could be coming up in September. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we could arrange that and make that happen.
Yeah, so the Braves are playing the Mariners in Seattle. And yours truly, Jaymac, and myself are going to the game to watch the Atlanta Braves get crushed by the Seattle Mariners. I'm calling that right now.
Oh, okay.
And there's Jaymac just nodding. He's like, sure, yes, sure.
Right.
So, all right. We're going to kind of transition on over to the NBA. I don't know if you've been watching a little bit of the NBA Finals, but we got the Boston Celtics going up against the Golden State Warriors. Who do you have winning the series?
The easy pick is to go with the Warriors. I'll take the Celtics, though. I'll take the Celtics winning in the end.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Celtics as well. I'm gonna say in 7 games. I think it's awesome that I think it was awesome that the first game they pretty much blew out the Warriors. I saw the score, saw some of the highlights, but I haven't been really paying attention much to the series because right now the series is tied at 2-2. You can catch it tonight at 6:00 p.m. on the Pacific time, where the Celtics are in Oakland at the Golden State right there. So I think the Celtics can probably hold off and actually win it. I'm with you, but it's going to go to 7 games. So speaking of
Yeah.
NBA, Zion Williams, what is your thoughts on Zion Williams?
Kind of overrated, to be honest. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He's a great player, but he's kind of overrated.
I agree. Also, I think he's overrated. I think he should have stayed actually 1 or 2 more years in college because, like his size doesn't like. I know he goes in aggressive and all that, but his body breaks down so quick when he does that. He just gets injured. In my opinion, that's all that happens with that. Are you on the same boat
Well,
with that one?
yeah, well, and if he learned how to, like, he doesn't have to put the whole team on his back. They got CJ McCollum last year in a trade, and so if he learned how to play with CJ McCollum, I think that they could be a good 1-2 tandem up there in the top 15 in the NBA and make a run for the Pelicans. But he's got to learn how to play with CJ McCollum first.
That is true. That is definitely true. And speaking of staying on the basketball aspect, there's a new movie on Netflix called Hustle with Adam Sandler in it. I don't know if you watched it.
I have.
I think it is probably one of Adam Sandler's top 5 performances in a movie.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed that movie. Nothing's going to beat the cult classics, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore and so forth. But Hustle was like one of the greatest. I thought it was a great movie. I watched it on Friday. Yeah, it was Friday night, and I thought it was just awesome. And
it was even the NBA players that were in the movie. Afterwards, they were talking about they can't believe how authentic it was, like how authentic they made the movie look compared to that's actually the way things happen in the NBA. This is how things actually go. Definitely did his homework. They definitely did a great job on that movie. Definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know. I was impressed with the music. I was impressed with the script and everything that happened in the movie. I just like it. My favorite part was like when the mom was like, "How much are you asking? How much can he make as a minimum NBA player?" And Sonny Sugarman says $900,000. Then she responds to Bo, "Well, you're gonna call in sick tomorrow."
Right.
That was one of the great aspects of that one right there. So
for sure.
All right, we're just going to keep moving along. We're going to go into the NHL. Of course, we got our Stanley Cup finals set up. We have the Colorado Avalanche going up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Who are you taking during this time?
It's almost a flip of a coin for me. I can't go against Tampa Bay just because of what they've done the last few years. However, they did beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs this year. An interesting fact about beating the Toronto Maple Leafs, the last 3 teams that have beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup playoffs have gone to the Stanley Cup finals, but have not won.
Ooh, that's a good inch. Yeah. And I think also with the Maple Leafs, they haven't won a playoff series since 2005, something like that.
Right.
But
and they won the Stanley Cup since 1967 or something.
Well, we still have MLB teams that have never reached a World Series and has never reached a playoff since 2001. So we're just going to leave it right there.
The Seattle.
Cough, cough, Seattle, right?
Right.
So I would like to take the Colorado Avalanche for one. There should not be hockey in Florida. It's too hot. And 2, I'm not a fan of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Never have, never will be. That's where I stand on that one. So I think it's going to be – I think that it's going to go to 6 games. The only issue with Colorado is their defense. They allow a lot of goals during the season and also during the playoffs as well, especially against the Edmonton Oilers, where they won like 8-7 or 8-7, I believe. It was like went into like overtime, and it was crazy. It was 6-5 was the final on that one. So you can catch they're going to drop the puck on Wednesday for the Stanley Cup playoffs at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and that is going to be on ABC. I will be watching. Will you be watching, J-Mac?
I believe I will. Yes.
Believe you will. I'm going to be there because I'm a born new hockey fan after watching the playoffs this year. All right, we're just going to keep moving along in here. So I don't know if you've been following a little bit of the WNBA, but Brittany Griner, unfortunately, is still in that issues going on right now. But the season's continuing without her. What's your thoughts on the WNBA this season?
WNBA, I wish more people would watch it. It's actually, these women go out and they're competitive. We're all about women's sports on coast to coast, and it's a very, very good league to watch. Very competitive. Not as fast paced as the NBA. They don't shoot all threes like the NBA does. There's no flopping. It's more of an authentic game to me. And you got the aces that have played really well. Becky Hammon's their coach. You don't have anyone that's really off to a slow start last year, or like last year with, the Atlanta Dream that were 1-14 to start the season or something. So no one off to a slow start. Everyone's in it this year. Seattle's kind of been disappointment this year, to be honest. But, yeah.
Yes, Seattle. Even though they're in second in the Western Conference, their record is still 8-5 compared to Las Vegas, which is 11-2. On the Eastern Conference, it's a little more tight. We got the Connecticut Sun 10-4 and the Chicago Sky 9-4. And I think it was last year we watched the drafts for the WNBA, and we were talking about. I think we were talking about Chicago, and I believe they got 2 players in that draft, like on the first round, if I can remember. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was on the Four Bros radio show. Check that show out as well. So again, check out the women's sports, because if you go to coast, we did film the Women's Football Association, which is women's tackle, and we covered the Oregon Cougars, and it was a great thing to watch. And Jaymac, you were the mastermind of all that one, and the commentary was very, very good during that time, and you did very well with that. So I just want to say thank you on that one.
No, thank you guys for watching. I will tell you this. I can make that announcement now that we are the new official home of the Oregon Cougars. And so we will have them every season. Their season runs typically all of April through all of May, sometimes the first week of June, and then the playoffs after that. So check that out coming up next spring. And we'll have some other stuff coming on with them as well. Looking to develop a weekly show, maybe around them. Sarge and I have talked about that. So some stuff coming up with the Oregon Cougars for sure, being the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network is going to be the exclusive home of the Oregon Cougars. So
that is true, and definitely I can contest that there is more fans in that stadium than at the Oakland Athletics games at their home games. So we can definitely say that. But then we got Brandon. He's saying, "What up, guys?" And Jaymac is the voice of the Cougars of the Coast to Coast. So that is true. You're a little celebrity there.
Right.
Right.
I guess so.
All right. So let's close our time with the NFL. I know you're a big NFL fan, J-Mac. So
yeah,
I want to kind of bring up the Broncos. What is your thoughts on the Broncos this season, on their outlook? What's your thoughts?
Well, I think the Broncos will do all right this year. I think that everyone's saying, making fun of them, of course, for being the Walmart Broncos, whatever, with Rob Walton. Look at this from Rob Walton's standpoint. You're already worth, $30-35 billion. Now you own an NFL franchise, which is going to make you worth even more. And marketing reasons, you can put a Walmart inside the stadium.
Yeah, you could.
So it's a way to make even more money, and so make your company worth even more. It's definitely a good move on his part, and we'll see how it goes for the Broncos. Maybe we'll start seeing NFL jerseys inside Walmarts now. That would be nice. So,
yeah. With that being said, I think it's a horrible decision for the Broncos to allow this. It's horrible because I'm not a Broncos fan, but if you look at the Walmart products that they have, they're gonna get the low end. So we're gonna get a low end Broncos. That's how I see it.
we'll see.
I mean, do you think the Broncos will come out with like when they do the advertising and stuff, the giant spark on their jersey is the Walmart symbol?
Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, I can see that. But for the Broncos, I don't see them as a Super Bowl team, but I do see them sneaking into the playoffs because I still think it's Kansas City's AFC to run. What's your thoughts on that part?
I actually have a dark horse this year. I'm calling this way early before the season so that no one can say I didn't call this.
All right.
I will tell you that I think that the Los Angeles Chargers run the AFC West this year. And I think they make a run to the Super Bowl.
All righty. That I can get on that bandwagon right there because they had a terrific season last year with that one. And also I kind of want to go to the Cleveland Browns because they have more and more drama with Watson on there. So do you think that they're keeping Baker Mayfield on the team because they kind of figured out that Watson has another accusation that popped up? Now it makes it 24.
Maybe that's why they're keeping Baker Mayfield, but you know what the Browns are good at? The Browns are good at creating controversy because you know that they're not going to be a Super Bowl contender year in and year out. But what do they get when they do all this controversy and drama? They get airtime. They get people talking about them. They get people checking them out. And that's what you want. So this gets them publicity. Even bad publicity is publicity in the end. So the Browns keep people talking about them no matter what controversy it is. I think that if you're going to make a stand in the NFL, even if they decided that there was no when I say even if he is found that there was no say sexual mistreatment, I still think that even at that, if you're the NFL and you're going to keep on the whole domestic violence and other things, you're going to keep on that. He will get suspended for some time during the season for sure.
Yeah, I agree. He'll probably get suspended for probably about 6 games. Then, like when he is eligible to come back, then they'll probably trade Baker Mayfield after that one. That's how I feel about it. Like I said earlier, I can get on the bandwagon with the Chargers because there's one team that you said that was going to go to the Super Bowl last year, and you said it was the Cincinnati Bengals, didn't you?
I did.
And everyone just mocked you, even me. So if you need to buy a lottery ticket, find Jaymac. He'll probably give you the right numbers on that one or keep it for himself on that one. So that ends our time today on the Sports Compound. Jaymac, again, brother, thank you for joining. It's awesome to have you on the show anytime. So you're more than welcome to jump on the Sports Compound because you are a brother here. So thank you.
All right. No problem. 4 Bros tonight, 10 p.m. Pacific. Check it out.
Definitely check out the 4 Bros. And again, with Jaymac, I am the Sarge. Thank you for joining us. I hope you guys have a good day. Talk to you later. See ya.